Eval. Oh, it does look like we're streaming. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hi. Nice to see ya. Hair's down today. Trying to keep it relaxed. It was a bit of a stressful week last week. We're going to keep it chill today. Let's get our music up and going again. Hope everybody had a good weekend. The reason I didn't stream over the weekend is hope everybody had a good weekend. The reason I didn't stream over the weekend is because I was pretty sick. Currently trading around the pivot on NQ. All right, White Bat audio on the playlist today. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, I like the sound of that. Do you guys hear that? You do hear that. Hey, hang on. Why are you in stereo but I'm in mono? Well, in any event, very chill. Keeping the vibes chill today. Trading around the pivot on NQ. We're currently under pivot. A push through 644.95 on Qs will give me a good spot to long from. Watching SPY as well. It's kind of in the middle of its range, middle of the EMAs. But again, we are under pivot, which is 644.95 on Qs. I'm not long yet. I do like the rejection I'm seeing on the UVXY off of HP. Just a quick review. There's the UVXY liquidity map on RocketScooter. No, go back up there. There we are. So we got a whole stack above. We're currently in between these sort of two levels right here, 39 and 39.50. We are in the take profit trader eval stage, no longer funded. Sad. Okay, 39.40 UVXY, 39.36. Nice. All right, I jumped in long 5 micros. I got plenty of drawdown in this account. Put in $1,000 in it on Friday. That was our first day, day 1 TPT. Keeping it casual today. Keeping it casual. Okay, just for a review, casually, past one TopStep, failed one TopStep combine. This is the past one, instantly activated, and then in the one we were working on Friday, we're up 900. Can you guys see this? Ish. There's my P&Ls. Okay, up 900 on last week's funded, and up 343 on today's funded, which I'm tempted to chase a little bit here. We're above pivot. All right, I'm long on the funded, brand new funded on TopStep. See how you guys like this. Okay, gotta work around the okay, stopped out there. Gosh, there's such a delay on this now that I'm streaming. Not a good look. Who can I get rid of? Can I close up any of these windows? Still watching the UVXY. It's not perfect. Don't mind I got stopped out on that long over here. We've got about a $20 scalp off of it. Still long in the TPT. Only about 20 bucks up. Like, oh, there's 50. Okay. Out of 2. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm seeing NVIDIA rejecting off of its pre-market low, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out that long. Got to see NVIDIA, which is up here, get above this resistance. Prior day low, excuse me, the prior day low, or above the pre-market low, below the prior day low where we just rejected off of for the second time. Okay. all out there for a $22 gain in the TPT. We're back under the pivot. Pause. We're hesitating here. Hesitation is the wrong word. We are regrouping and watching, especially on NVIDIA. Let's simplify this a little bit once we talk about what's going on. Okay, simplify these charts. Maybe that'll help us with the lag. Okay, trend is downwards at this moment on NQ. UVXY, this is from Friday's levels, above Friday's levels. Not that bullish for the market. Now, here's the important levels that I want to show you guys today. Via the Rocket Scooter, 38.44. 38.44, which is in the middle of this little range here. Then that is the half gap. Let's make this a little dotty line. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna save and quit my trading view for a second, guys, and restart it. It's struggling. Keep up. All right. Screen might get a little weird for a second here as I lose some of my screen. Thanks for joining us on Trading for All Audiences. We've got no charts up at the moment. This is a pretty boring scene right here. All right, I like that bounce that I see over here. Let's get the trading view back up. Restarting the trading view. We got to see where the UVXY is. That 38.50 pivot. Sorry, 38.44 pivot. Very important. 39.50 up above. Also important. These are our two levels we're going to watch very, very closely. 39.50. See that we flirted with it today, but then we rejected it. That's where I got all my longs in, was off of this rejection. So we're going to just watch it very, very closely. We're sort of in between pivots on the UVXY. Back to our TPT. Again, market's just kind of frozen here. It's not a whole lot to look at. Up, back up. Nope. There it is. Okay, 3 up. UVXY getting a little bit of a push towards this 39.50 level. Oh, I was about to make this a dotted line. It be edge pressure. No, half gap. Okay. Now, over here on oil. Is this still a thing? Is oil even still a thing? We were down here at 80 last week, and I thought that was weird. War's not over. Why are we down at 80? Well, over the weekend they agreed, because here we were on Friday around 80s. We recovered this really important level at 81.74 and spladoom! Up $7. So, I'm now seeing a very interesting point of resistance forming here at the 87.50 level. Let's go ahead and mark it. That's our watch on oil. Not dotted. Not you. You are stopped. I'm gonna have to run down and get some water in a minute. I did not start very well prepared here. And I'm actually a little bit curious. Can I... Just curious here. You can see that my hair looks super awesome. Color correction. That's a little bit better. Contrast kind of where it is. Ah, much better here. I think more yellow. Probably better just the way it is. Better. Okay. Okay, that'll do. A little bit better there. All right, oil. Kind of getting a little spicy. Let's just go ahead and put a lower level here. This 85.50, 85.60, all the way up to 86. It's clearly a little bit of a demand, aka support. Definitely this 85.50. Okay, between 85.50 and 87.50. Now, between the UVXY and the oil chart, we're going to be able to see headlines before they hit, because these will react very, very quickly to any news related to the war. Now we are under the pivot on UVXY, potentially a long setup here, but we need to see it extend below these sort of supports that have been established. These EMAs have been very supportive today. This breakdown was fun, but it was a false breakdown, which led to our big ol' short. So I've only been trading from here, from the 560s. 39.20 on the UVXY. Is there another level here that we want to look at? It was 39 even, I believe. The other one to watch out for. Yeah, 39 even, top of the bear zone. Bear zone top. 39 even. Okay, 39.20 is a nothing. It's kind of in the middle here. So there's nothing that we can really gain from this level. We got to wait and see what happens. Excuse me. Definitely gonna have to go make some tea in a little bit. I'll leave you guys with the charts. Yeah, see, UVXY is bouncy over 39, and this is our concern. 39 is a level to watch as well. 39. Just watching here. Just watching off screen on the 15-minute. Definitely bearish on the 15. I do like the 600 level for support, however. Really good bounce here. That's what we can look at on Rocket Scooter. Let's check out some DD levels. Where's our DD bands? NQ, DD band. Upper. 27. Oh, there we go. Way up there. Lower. 26,589. Oh, well, what do you know? What do you know? Glad I checked. That is the DD band. Good to know. Good to know. Just a good thing to have in mind. That's all. So that was an excellent long to be in before. Probably not too many more longs to be really watching for on this market. Up, we're up about 1,200, 1,300 on the day. Let's just do the quick math. 937 plus 362. Wow, that's almost exactly 1,300. Perfect. And then over here in our TPT eval, we're up 22 whole dollars. Not going to push it here down in this bear flagish area. Again, the 600 level does have supportive interest to me, but the VIX is going to have to really make up its mind. Let's also look over here at the VIX. You guys see that? When I drag that over, do you guys see the VIX? You do see the VIX. Haha! This is going to work great, you guys. This is going to be awesome. All right. So, VIX with its pivots are in between levels. It did seem like it wanted to test 20 earlier. That's when I torched a couple of evals trying to stay long. It was all on this sort of like big candle over here. That's what busted a few of my accounts. But no harm done on the funded, so I'm happy about that because I caught the bottom on the funded. Oil pushing the high. VIX, this was just an illustrative moment just to see. Okay, UVXY is going to have the more granular look at the volatility as it changes. Okay, looking for a reaction from oil here, and if VIX also gets a rejection at the same time, that's a long entry. There's the UVXY rejection. Now let's see an oil rejection. Oil is now pushing. Green in our quick scalp long. 39 still really the level of interest to watch out for here. Watching close. Let's get my cursor out of the way. All right, hanging out at entry. We're long from 66.50. Again, it's not the best entry here, but I saw something that I liked from the VIX while oil was sitting at resistance. So let's see if my thesis is correct. When I see more rejection on the VIX and then oil not make a new high, there it is. There we go. Gives us a pop up. That was the thesis. Front running a little bit of the oil rejection. We just see that it's at major resistance. So that was the thesis behind this trade. I'm gonna go ahead and put my stops at break even. You know, I'll take one off. That's like a $13 profit. We'll take it. Okay, this might be a 39 test on the EVXY. Look at that gap down on the 2-minute. Oil is hanging here. It's not getting the sharp rejection that I would have liked to see. So let's watch and see if it pushes. This could be the short entry. 87.50 oil level has been crucial since last night. We bumped up to 88. Not get above 88. Oh, excuse me. I'm telling you, these 50 levels, they're crucial on oil. It's just where I think where institutions keep their stops hiding is on the 50s, not on the whole number. All right, push it up. Hope everybody had a nice weekend out there. Hope everybody is not hanging out in the Middle East right now, because I would be pretty nervous on this ceasefire situation. I do not trust it. I am long on the market based on technicals, not based on optimism. Be clear. You will not find me checking the box on being an optimist. Tickle my. Okay. This is where UVXY has had some support. This VWAP level. Hard to put EMAs on volatility, but they do sort of follow. Opposite break even. We're up about $17, $18 on this trade. That should be better. Okay. Oil did get the rejection after all. Let's see if it can get under those EMAs that are holding it up presently. We lose. Man, music was jamming in stereo. Okay, 39 tens in the UVXY. That's going to be good for our long. Can't see it because it's... sorry guys. We're still stuck on Rocket Scooter. We want to be on TradingView. As I'm about to get stopped out, it looks like. Quick rejection off this level. You guys see all that? Let's give you a little bit more. Here we go. You see more of my stop is. Stop is at break even. using a hard stop because again, oil up and VIX up. This is not the safest of long. So stop is in. Hard stops. Ooh. Okay, so I just restarted the music and it got a little intense on us. I'm gonna browse a little bit. See, this is a little bit of some biographical information about me. When I was a young man, I wanted to be a radio DJ. So we're gonna go with. Let's see what else we got here. Watching our short about to get hit, perhaps. Got chill. Dystopian synthwave. I think that's where we were. Retro synth. Relaxed. Let's see. Yeah. Too relaxed. Okay. Better. Awesome. All right, I think we got a playlist going. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Seeing the UVXY hitting this EMA, this green EMA, for the first time today. First time since a while ago. This was where it sort of like got its legs under it before. This is the 200 EMA. Let's see what happens off the 200. Could be a bounce spot. It's also on that 39 even, which is the bear zone top. All right, I need some water. I'll be back. Okay, charts look good. Back. Making sure they're working. Seeing the market turning downward here, we're going to get stopped out on the trade. Oh, and then it bounced from our stop out. Oh. Oh. Jump back in. Okay. Back in. That was a stop hunt. It hunted my stop at the bottom. All right, out of one, then a quick little profit. And stops are now in. Okay. It was just a little stop hunt. Stopped again. Watching that oil there. Watch that oil. All right, we are back. Looks like that stop out was probably a good idea. This is not going up, we're going down. Now, again, interest at the 26,600 level. Look at that oil making a new high of the day's session. We did wick up here earlier of the 8780 level. Let's see what happens when we return to there. Oh, I like this one a lot. Yeah, y'all hearing that? As long as you can still hear me, I'm happy about this. UVXY. Oh, we flipped somehow. Flipped over to VIX Prime. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. It's got our levels on it. This is why we got stopped out. Now, I told you to watch out for the 200 EMA bounce. The VIX have? Yeah, VIX is sort of holding its 200 as well. Even on the daily? Yeah, we are right on the VIX 200. And the 8 daily intersecting right here. This could be a potential sell-off spot. Everybody be careful out there. I will be interested again down below in the 600s. But you're going to have to prove it to me, market. You have to prove to me that you want me to interact with you. Interesting bounce there off the UVXY rejection, and check out the oil rejection. I'm going to get back in a long here. Yeah, I do like that UVXY rejection. I'm long again from the 650s, probably right where we were long before. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Look at this false breakout on oil over our level and then rejected. I ran it before, now it actually happened. Who gives you the levels? This guy. Now, a little bit of resistance here off of the higher time frame EMAs, off the 15, 76, 64. We're not even close to there yet, but that's going to be our next level of 70s. 76. Yeah, we got to get over that candle high right there. UVXY continuing to gap down. I'm going to go ahead and just, whoa. See oil actually getting a little supportive there. I'm going to take one off. That's about a $30 profit. Stop is still in. Okay. Interesting candle sequence on the UVXY where it initially got the bounce off the 200 and it's all the way right back 6 minutes later. Remember, we've got resistance above in the 70s on the 76 level. Look at one. That sell was at 67.50. 58 is my stop. Love a good drummer. Oh boy, see, look at oil hanging out up there. Hard to trust any longs in the middle of the bear flag, middle of the low range. Resistance at 76.75 above. About to be stopped out. In profit. That oil at 87.50, big test here. Very nice, very nice. Seems to be rejecting the 87.50 thus far. XY hanging out. There's the push. up to 70. Remember, we've got resistance at 76. Oh, we're at 76. At 76-ish, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. That's profit right there. Boom. Up $111.50. Again, above 39 on the UVXY. Potential bounce spot. Heading into the resistance in the 70s. My exit was 73.75. Let's see if that was a good idea or not. Still watching the oil. I could jump back in the long if it looks like we have continuation, but I want to see what happens with the UVXY when it hits 39. See how it was supportive. We lost it, and then we reclaimed it. Very conspicuous looking chart on the UVXY. See what I mean? See what I mean about that being the bounce spot? Even though oil is getting a rejection up here, sort of, it's still hanging out up here. There's our top wick that we gotta sort of like defeat. So from 87.50 to 87.84 currently is the supply area of oil. 39 almost on the UVXY. This is an excellent playlist, making me feel very hopeful about a market that I don't have a lot of faith in. All right, so we gapped down overnight, closed the gap on NQ, did not close it on ES. That's what's interesting here. Still have some upside potential left. Considering re-entering along here, oil is going to have to give me more of a rejection look. UVXY under the 39. Will it recover it? There's the rejection on oil. 39 even on UVXY. Looking a little recovery. Sitting at that 76 resistance on NQ. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. I shorted it. See what happens. Short from 73.25. And I'll take it out when we get back to the EMAs down in the 50s. Yeah, my target is 58s. 39 reclaim on UVXY as well. Watching that very closely. Oil not yet giving it up. Market wants the push though. Interesting. 76.75. This is where I identified resistance. Added one more up there. Oil did get the rejection, so this is perhaps not the best short to be in. Let's find out. Cost basis is 74.37, and my exit will be 700. So about a 25-point stop loss on 2 micros. $100. Back under 39. Okay, checking out the resistance levels around 80. Added one more. That's a good add. Okay, oil is getting the rejection while UVXY is getting the rejection. So I'm going to get out of this short pretty quick. I'm going to look for sort of like a knife down that's going to get bought up. That's where my exit is on the short. Okay, knife is beginning. Out of 1, out of 2. Check out where my stop is up there at the tippity tip. Tip top. Not bad. So this first 2 are out for break even. VXY back at 39. Watching that one. Stopped out on the short. Stopped out on the short. I think that was a $2 loss. Not bad. Remember, I'm still tempted to chase a long here. There goes the oil rejection. That's what I wanted to see before on my long. UVXY rejected as well. Okay, I'm long bigger on 4 micros here. Let's get a push to the north side. Nope. Switched my bias a little too fast there. Not seeing it out of UVXY yet. Man, I along the top. The oil got quite a bounce there. That was intimidating. UVXY back at 39. Again, the recovery of 39 was what led to the sell-off before. Interesting. Interesting. I think I flipped bias a little fast there. Could have stayed short. Okay, I'm falling pretty bad there. Tests could have been the long entry. There's a nice oil rejection. UVXY under 39. Uh-oh, back at 39. Get a recovery of 39 on UVXY or a bump over 87.50 on oil, and I will dump out of this. UVXY rejection off 30. Oil is not playing along though. Might be setting up a little bit of a topping pattern here, everybody. Careful. $7.50 tap on oil. Rejected. Rejected. XY is under 39. Where the pivots are kind of working. We're long from resistance here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the best spot to be in. We're looking for a quick exit. Especially if UVXY recovers 39 in a hurry. This is gonna fall down hard. And oil getting a bounce. Alright, I added one. Still under... Oh, there's that 39 recovery. Now we gotta see it reject on the UVXY. Oh boy. Oh boy. I like that EMA support below. Will it really last though? Along both of those EMAs below. It's getting a little bit of a gap up. Interesting that the VIX got spicy right when we were at resistance. Should have been my clue that this was not a great long to be. Oh, because we're at MHP from below on the market. Terrible, terrible time to get long. Oil climbing. The music totally changed into a dark, dramatic situation. Look at that fall down hard that I suggested was going to happen. Now, I want to see a bounce from here. God, the world is ending in the soundtrack. I got to really adjust that. Okay, we're all in on the bounce. The dramatic music is making me very intense. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on, we're saving the world here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're out of most. We're out of most. We're out of most. Off of the bounce. That was a mega bounce off the all-in. Stops at break even. Taking one off there. And we're up $330 on the day. That's a nice trade, everybody. I had a feeling that we were going to get an extra bounce here, especially as oil gets the rejection. That was what I was waiting for. That retest of the 87.50. Let's get back under there, oil. Let's get back under there. I took one more off. One more off in profits. Everything else is a break even. We need to not reject that EMA test at the 70s. All right, now let's get over to the music. Again, I tried to pride myself in my DJ abilities, and this got cinematic trailer. No, we don't want a cinematic trailer. Sorry, guys. It has made me way too intense. How about we do... Oh, we already did the reggaeton. Chill hip hop. Back into the chill. It's supposed to be a chill day. It's supposed to be an expedition. Exhibition. Supposed to be an exhibition. There's the oil rejection that I wanted. I'm not taking this in fundeds. Tempted. Very tempted at that 39 retest DXY on the oil reject. But we're in it in a prop. We're in it in an eval. Took off one more. Whew. I am determined to do better on TPT. We have yet to get a payout from TPT since like a year ago. I'm in a huge TPT drought. I do have a fun little account that I got from my buddy Pine Tree Trader. That was a fun little giveaway that he blessed me with. That's the long there that I was tempted to take in the funded. The 39 retest reject. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we're up into the 80s. Took my profit all the way up. All right, I'm all out there. I don't have a whole lot of faith in this VIX over 19 UVXY under 39 look. There's so many EMAs above. That's why I took profit where I did. Pretty chill, pretty chill. Let's see what happens. A quick review, we're up $438 on that all-in micro play. Now I did short from here before. All right, that was fun. Dance pop? Off the gap. Look at the bottom like forming on the UVXY guy. This could be the short starting to play out. Okay. I'm short too. It's a risky short. My stop again is at 700. I'm out of one in profit. Stop is at break even. Just scalping around here on micros. Seeing if that bottom wick on the UVXY turns into anything interesting. There it is. Hey yo, told you it was a short. UVXY. That is a Morningstar reversal on UVXY under support. However, this could just be the 39 test from below. We're going to watch really closely here to see if it gets a rejection off of 39. If it reclaims 39, then we stay in this short for the rest of the afternoon. Oil got a bounce at that moment as well. That's an excellent entry on the short. If we get stopped out here, I'm not upset. I'm going to just drop my stop a little bit down there. We're at 26,680 even for the stop. Because again, if UVXY rejects off of 39, right where that EMA is waiting as well, 38.99, that will send the market up. Okay, getting a little bit of that rejection so far. I'm going to be all out of my short in profit. Seeing the rejection for 39. Reclaim a 39 and I'll trades over. 450. Look at that recipe. Big test. Man, up here. That was a nice little short scalp. It was the right idea. Yeah, something happened and all my charts got messed up. Still resistance from the 80s up here, where I shorted from. Well, it's been fun, y'all. See that? False breakdown on UVXY was the short entry. I exited the short, but it's still, the thesis still valid. Oil still holding strong above its VWAP. Again, we see a rejection off of 39 on UVXY, and it's a long entry. Just in the middle here. In 670 hold, previous resistance becoming support, potentially. I'm long 2 micros on this take profit trader. We're just gonna ride that EMA downward, it looks like, which means we're riding the other EMAs up. Out of 1 on the EMA test, $10 profit. Just watching this right here, if we can ride these EMAs all the way down and stay under 39, then I am long. That is my thesis. Oil got the rejection. Just looking over here on Rocket Scooter, 38.44 down below. Okay. Yeah, so this is like potentially the top of the range on the UVXY, which means there could be much more upside on the market. Let's find out. Okay. This is again with the music. You're killing me that with the intensity here. Okay, this looks much better. Liking this long entry, guys, off of the EMA test. Here we go. Not good enough to take in my fundeds. So we are heading into resistance up here in the 80s. And then 700 being the big resistance. Okay. Watching really close. All right, I'm out. Look at that oil bounce. Okay. That was a good exit in profit. 474.50 on the day. Look at the UVXY holding strong. It is under the support, but hard to trust it there. What is going on? Interesting. Very interesting. The market looks extremely toppy. The UVXY is not supporting that so far. This is just a retest of the prior breakdown levels around 700. Okay, market's starting to fly up here. Took one. I think we're going to get a 700 test on the UVXY breakdown. Chasing the long. Let's get that 700 tap. No. 38.87 on the UVXY. Okay, we get above. We can just get above 87.50. I'm at 84.50. Long into resistance. Classic. Fighting the trend. This is the very middle of the range of the day. Okay, seeing some magic happen here. Seeing a little action happening on the 1230. Okay. Not seeing a whole lot of follow through from this high. Love to see the market break out here. Too intense on the music, you guys. Huh, this track is called Chop It. Irony. UVXY is getting very bouncy there. I want to see it continue to reject off that EMA, or this long idea has been dashed. There's the rejection off the EMA. Now we can push up to 700. Oil continue to be supportive above 87. This is the current hang up on the market. UVXY is behaving exactly like we want. Oil, however, is not. See a big bump on. That's going to help push the VIX down. Push now. Here we go. Get this push. Give me that push up to at least to 94. Get above 90s. Alright. Stop is in at break even. Okay, we're in 90s. Now let's get above 94.25. Let's get the tap at 94. Get oil under 87 and the market might actually push above this 26,700 currently with resistance. There goes UVXY behaving, but not with oil. I had to take profit here. Yeah, I took the profit. Oil bounce, UVXY bounce, tough combo at resistance. Don't have a lot of faith that we're going to continue to new highs or anything like that. Oh, there we go. There's that 700 tap. I exited at 89.25. Not gonna enter a short here. Just dead with the longs. If I start to see UVXY bounce, look at that rejection though. Look at the rejection that we're seeing off the 700 level that I identified for y'all earlier. I mean, it's not that difficult. You can see where we rejected both these EMAs the last time we visited them. Big dump. This is a 100-point dump. Total 35. All right, 80-point dump. All right. It's just too stock music-y for me, guys. This is much more like it. Oh, yes, thank you. Oil, big pump. VIX got the bounce too, around 1907. No, 8. Interesting. So we are testing the EMAs from above, potentially supportive, theoretically, while VIX is trying to spice things back up. A bottomy pattern on the VIX. Interesting rejection. Again, sort of rejection from 39 on the UVXY. VIX, however, getting more spicy than this. Now we are under the pivot, the 1920 pivot from Friday. But our actual Monday pivot is down at 1858. Very interesting look from the UVXY. It's a hell of a short right there, right off of the resistance level. SR flip plus the top wick, but the market is falling hard here. I'm gonna just drag Drag this over. $19.19. Tick. Very low. Not seeing this being very supportive. Almost at the low of the day on the TQ. The weakest that the tick has been all day. Still learning how to read this guy. Don't know if that's a spot for a bounce, but the market is bouncing. Off of this rejection here. Still rejections from the test on pivots. Bullish on the market, but I did not like the way we sold off from not taking any longs right. This is the music right here. This is exactly what we needed. Just put a little soul back in. Okay. We are currently rejecting off the 15-minute EMAs on the Monday mid. 700, 693.65 is currently where the EMAs sit, but I'm just going to round up to 700. A little bit of a rejection pattern forming. As long as we get below this low, nothing special about that. Still continue lower on the UVXY. Chopping. Now, we're above DD. Let's check out where our other levels are in Rocket Scooter. Okay, we're looking at the QQQ chart here. Let's just do a little side by side. Okay. QQQ rejected its half gap at 648.4. Oh. Half gap is way up there. Yeah, half gap way up there. Edge pressure 642. Bounced off. Okay. Last thing is the bear zone top. 645 E. Bear zone top 5. Bottom of this. We're on it right now. 5 even. Kind of where the pivot is. Let's see where our pivot was over here. I think it was higher than that. That pivot. Yeah, oh, it was 645 even. I was exactly right. Fantastic. Potential long entry. Off the pivot. Didn't take it. Just put it on the chart. Rejection from pivot. Rejection from pivot. Long. That's a long. Didn't take it. Look at that pump. Okay, here's our 700-ish test. Testing the resistance around 700. Not getting short. Booster. Oil, still hanging in tough though. Makes me a little sus of this level. This would be the short spot if anybody's looking for an opportunistic short. Let's use 707 to 710 as your stop. XY not giving it up yet. How's this look for y'all? Got me over here? Got me there? Got me there. Yeah, still considering more of a short than a long from here. Kind of a neither, to be totally honest. Look at that bottom on the UVXY potentially forming where I said the short opportunity was. Now, if UVXY and oil get on the same page, which is AKA pushing above pivots, then we're short. Yeah. UVXY not breaking down, oil not breaking down, market not long. You with that? Or I gotta pee a lot. Staying hydrated, that's all we're doing. Eyes. All right, we're watching our pivots. Oil is at pivot. E150 tap on oil. I do not love how it's hanging out above its VWAP. Okay, UVXY is still following these EMAs down. That's the only long signal that we got right here. Oil holding its level up around pivot, not a long signal. VIX above pivot, not a long signal. Qs are above their pivot, but that's a weekly pivot, so we can easily sell off from there. Okay, oil at resistance, 87.50. What will happen? Market's not giving it up yet, which I find interesting. That 700 resistance is strong, but it's still, just like oil and VIX, someone's going to have to make a decision here. VIX got a rejection off of its EMA on the 5. XY hanging tough though. No trade for me. Tempted to short the 700 resistance, but if we get an oil breakdown, then it's just going to push. Probably all at 7.6. Next level is 720, 740. Big one, 770. Yeah, I could be tempted to take a short from up there. I could consider that. Oh, UVXY. You mean you were faking it? You were faking it the whole time. You reclaim 39, and the market's gonna be sad. Sad. Tap on UVXY. Okay. This is also where all the EMAs are collected, and again, we are at pivot. Potential long entry. But again, since there's 7 up 7. I don't want to be in there for such a short trade, I don't think. Especially while the VIX is getting spicy. A little bit of a bounce from the 39 rejection. What will happen on the UVXY? I'm watching it really, really closely. 39 evens right now. Well, oil finally got the rejection off 87.50 that we need. Then UVXY rotated in. Not the confluence when the two things are not lining up. Now, if we see a UVXY rejection from here, while oil is rejecting, then things could be interesting for long. Two UVX. Bounce. Pivot. Use. Easily see us lose pivot. I realize now that talk about them. Not talking in my ear anymore. Oh my squawks! They took the day. Oh. Who else can we listen? It's like having somebody in my. Not along yet, that's for sure. Oil gotten the rejection though. Now, oil under 87 is a long potential. Nope. Oil under 87 is where I want to go. This is still short. Interesting topping pattern forming on the UVXY. Under 39, that's why that's interesting. A little bit of a evening star reversal on the 2-minute forming. Nope. 39.01. Oil's at 87 evens. 7 and 5. Market likes that. A little late for my entry now. Surprising. It didn't. Thought the UVXY would show us the way, but it's hanging tough. Oil at 87. Remember, under 87 takes us to 86.50. Gives us probably like 20 points in the NQ, up to maybe that 7 110-ish area where this is currently resistant. Okay, still watching UVXY at 39. Look at that rejection. Glad I didn't chase the long. Big rejection there. Okay, now we're getting a little spicy. There's oil at 87s. Better to get long if oil dumps. Alright, I'm long. Alright, I'm out of 1. Ooh, I'm out of 2 there at break even. That's a $10 profit. I'm not going to be too concerned about that because oil got a bounce at 87. I front ran it a little bit and almost got burned, but not quite. Not quite. We're up 486.50 on the day. Prepared to re-enter here with size if oil does get the rejection under 87. $39 even UVXY. Okay, there's the 39 rejection on UVXY, reclaimed. Oil reclaimed. Over 39 UVXY, I want to see it reject here. 39.02, want to see it get a good top wick like those other ones. Definitely don't want it over 39.05, that would be bad for the market. Pretty boring, everybody. Pretty boring. Okay, watching it at that 39.05 level would be a great spot to reject from on UVXY, but it is now currently above its 2-minute EMAs. Now we're at the Q's pivot. Again, weekly pivot. Plenty of time to recover it if we lose it today. In fact, it does look like we may. Not gonna stress over this potential long, but it could be fun. We get a bounce off a pivot again. VIX gapping up, oil gapping up. Well, a little bit of resistance off the 87.30s. All right, I'm long 3. I want to see, this is a front run. I want to see 39.05 reject, and I want to see 87.26 reject on oil. This is just a chart read. There's not a whole lot of confluence behind this. That's the rejection that I wanted to see on UVXY. Yep. Oil is still getting a push though. I'm out of 1. It's just a de-risk. That was like a $2 profit. Okay. Stops are in. Stopped out. I will re-enter again. I'm still watching the rejection on 39.05. Oil's getting a good bounce here. That's why I'm not just re-entering in. I want to see it get a better rejection than that. Currently, the UVXY and oil are just rotating. I jumped back in. Look, red, red. Let's see what happens at 39 test now from above. If we break under, then it's a big up for the market. Oh, it's getting a bounce off of 39 there. Good drop. Big volume coming in here on the UVXY. Check out the volume bar. All right, added here. Off of the pivot. Oil getting a push. VIX got a pop. go. Push up now. Top wick on VIX. Hanging man UVXY. Top wicks on oil. Alright, I took off 2 at break even there. This is really the cost basis that suits me more, the bottom of this range rather than the middle. Nice exits off the EMAs, technically in profit there. I think that was like $1 profit. Hitting resistance now, 39 evens on UVXY. Stop is at break even. I'm gonna actually move it up. Stop is at 72.50 in profit. I want to see oil continue to reject off of the 87.25. All right. Moving along. Oil is not getting the rejection. UVXY is not getting the rejection. I'm going to go ahead and take my profits. That's $11 profit. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. Ah, we're at $499.50 on the day. Just on micros. That's not a bad look. Bad look. UVXY is recovering the 39. Oh, a little bit of rejection. A little bit of rejection. Want to continue to see that. VIX Prime with a top wick. Okay, 39 from above. Watching UVXY very closely here. We reclaim the EMAs on the market. Uh-oh. Nope. Not with UVXY gapping up. Nope. 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 Made that mistake before. 39.05. This is the rejection spot on UVXY. If it's not here, then we are not bouncing. Okay, I see oil getting a rejection. That's a good start. I see a 39.05 rejection on the UVXY. I'm just long one. Because if UVXY rejects here, the oil market's gonna fly. There it is. There's the rejection. Tough on the long here while oil's getting the bounce. UVXY did not get the full rejection that I wanted to see there. We'll add, we get to the bottom of this little range. Oil's getting a little push here. Candle about to come in on the UVXY. Added 1 there. Happens on the new candle. 39.05 is really sort of like a cutoff. Oil's getting a push. 39.06. Whoa! Whoa! That was a news candle on the UVXY. What's this about? What's this about? I want to see it get a top wick there because I longed from the bottom. Okay, oil's getting a big push there. Still below resistance. There's our push. Right, I'm taking off a bunch here. Go long too from the bitty bottom. There we go. That's why. That's why. Just de-risking here. Look at this. This is news. You guys got to be extra careful on news candles. We trade it with micros. We take our profits quickly. Interesting. Very interesting. Oil dojiing. I'm gonna go ahead and take the profit off there. 543 now on the day. About a $45 profit off of that little pump. Glad I took my profits off. Look at that. This is just a big old doji. Big push on UVXY above the pivot. Wonder what our news was there. Still got nobody talking to me in my ear. Squawk is so quiet. Buddy on my arm. Alright. Alright, I re-entered on the long side. Want to see oil continue the rejection downward. Oil held 87. Seeing oil looking a little rejecty. That's why I want to be long. Added here near the bottom of this candle, near support, near the pivot on Qs. We lose pivot with gusto, and I will just cut this. On the pivot now. It's just QQQ6 something. There we go. Pivot held. Okay, VIX getting spicy. Like that initial pop off the pivot, we did not get into profits just yet. Take off 3 when we get into profit. Okay, liking the push now. That's the push I wanted to see. All right, there's my 3 out in profit. Those are slight losses on the first 2, big win on the third. 4th is running. Looking good, looking good. Still not seeing the oil breakdown though. There's the VIX breakdown. Love that. That tempts me to jump on some funded, but we're sitting at resistance. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do anything stupid. Okay, stop is moving up to 77 even. Right where the EMAs are. Love the topping pattern on the UVXY, but we do need to get back below 39 if it's gonna have legs to the downside. So all we're doing is just basing above pivot. Great. Looking great. Could have been a funded trade. Could have been a contender. Again, oil under 87, UVXY under 39, and the market's going to get its next leg up. Currently, we're just facing. $39 held. 39 test held on UV. No concern. Longs. Up to 90s there. Feeling good there. Let's see if we get this dip under 87 on oil. Pushing through resistance. No, we're not hitting resistance. Okay. The 90s resistance at 93. Took my profit. Took my profit at 90. We could still continue higher, but we are holding above this pivot. Sorry, somebody said my name on Twitter and I got scared that I was on the mic. That's not the mic I want to be on, everybody. I do see the rejection on the VIX Prime. VIX Prime is looking primed. Back in 90s, I thought we would reject from there. We have a little bit of an EMA stack. 3903 on the UVXY. We see a precipitous rejection on the UVXY, and I will chase this to the high side. So far, no, though. So far, oil holds and UVXY holds. This is potentially a trap. It's a trap! Okay, we're pushing here against resistance. Not a short yet. 705 could be a short. Oh, maybe it was a short after all. Okay, it got a little bit of a bounce. Okay, UVXY on a rejection. No, not a rejection. Pushing. Pushing. Did not reject. The oil got a little bit of a top wick, but did not have follow through to the downside. Let's see what else I can. Okay. Seeing the rejection on oil and UVXY, this is the first time we've had confluence on those two in a minute. VIX might try to test 19 here. 1910 on the VIX. Watching really close to chase along. Oil's at 87.17. Still rejecting from like the 93s. We're at 87 currently on NQ. No, not chasing it. Not chasing it. We're up 582 in this account on the day. I'm not gonna chase from here. Do like the UVXY rejection-ish, but it is got some support under it still. Okay, looking for the push here. I will chase this. I don't know what is causing this push up. We are pushing into resistance on NQ. Still not a chase. 1909 on the VIX. There's that 39 test on UVXY. I'm going to go ahead and front run it with 1 micro here off the confluence. Confluence, confluence. Now this turns green or this turns green and confluence will be lost because we are at resistance. When we long into resistance, you need some confluence on your indicators. Let's see what happens. Okay, 39 test UVXY. Let's see which direction it chooses. Front ran it a little bit. Again, we dip below and it's gonna get Spicy Town. Spicy Town, Flavor Town. Did not go below, it bounced. I don't know if we get to go to Flavor Town, guys. There goes oil. Breaking above that 90 resistance, 700 rests above. 97 now. Putting my stop at break even. That's a good trade. Bounce. Stop is at break even. Gotta get oil under that green EMA, under that 200. 387, and we fly. Music is too sexy for me. Up out. Top wick, big one. UVXY got the 39 bounce. That's what the stop out. As did oil. See how it both turn green and green? Confluence is lost, not chasing. Okay, we're back to the 39 on UVXY. Very dangerous to long into this huge resistance zone on NQ. Yes, please. Right as the market popped. That's fun. 39 evens. Nope. 39 even on UVXY. Oil is getting the bounce, however. Still pressing into this resistance level on NQ. 700 even. 705 is above. This is just the VWAP, I think. Oh no, this is the 20-day. No, 200-day. 200, excuse me. 200-day waits above. Yeah, fun place to reject from. Okay, this is the VIX 19 test. As we speak, 1902 on the VIX. I'm dragging this guy over. I could see an 1880s bounce from VIX from its EMA. This is on the 5-minute. Oil is not giving it up. Okay, here comes the market. Nothing on my charts is indicating this just yet. 39 evens. Okay, there's the 39 loss of on UVXY. As long as it doesn't bounce. Out of here. Okay, just a little chase from the 39 reject. 19 even on on the VIX now. VIX Prime. Okay, I'm long from 700. This is a risky long. This is where I wanted to maybe get short from before. Yeah, see, there's oil bouncing. Not a 1. Not a 2. Those are slight profits. Break even on the last. 700.50. Stop. Okay, looks like some continuation happening. There we go. That's the move that we really wanted. Oh! As the music is getting a different tempo here. Okay, moving my stop to 702.50. Again, 705. We are at the resistance right now. But we break through that and it could be party time. We could be going to Flavor Town after all. Oh, there it goes. There goes UVXY. VIX 18.99. Oil is not giving it up, however. Not the confluence anymore. 709. Oh, there's the resistance at 720. All right, I'm taking my profit. Okay, VIX just reclaimed 19. The oil not giving it up and VIX reclaiming 19 was your key at resistance. Could reload at the 90s to test these EMAs from above. UVXY back over 39. Definitely cause for concern on any longs on the market. Up 595 on the day so far. I don't think I'm interested in taking this trade any further. Oil getting a big old green candle. UVXY over pivot. Yeah, again, until both the UVXY and oil are under their support pivots, I cannot, in good conscience, long this market. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. It's back at 19. 39 tap. Still pushing. I still feel like this is a short entry, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to get squeezed out here, but I don't think this is the long, y'all. Alright, I'm short one from 704. I've been talking about this 709, 710 resistance all day. Let's see if it's actually really there. Oil's getting a push. Added one more at the top. Okay, oil 87.50 tap. Short 706.30. My stop out will be 720s. Oh, UVXY got that rejection after all. We're in 11s, 12s, 13s. Oil a little bit of a top wick off 87.50. Hard to be long here, guys. Alright, add one more. $38.99 on the UVXY. Potentially a compelling long happening. VIX back at 19. Big old top wick on oil at the pivot. That's bullish. All right, last one, last ad there at 7:15, and again 7:20s. I'm stopping out. VIX 1899. There's a short working out. Oil pushing over at 87.50. Green briefly. Again, I'm not trying to get squeezed out here. Oil pushing the highs. Market's still pretty strong though. I'm out of 1, out of 2. UVXY back at 39. Oil made a high. Out of 3. Opposite break even. Stops in profit. Stop is at 7:15 even. Okay, oil and VIX both green and pushing. Or it is kind of working out, but it's not got a lot of legs, considering we've just broken pivot both ways. Yeah, I see that bounce off the EMA stack. VIX 1899, a 19 reclaim would definitely support our short cause here. Interesting. VIX up, market up. $39.05 on the UVXY, $39.06 on the UVXY. VIX has not reclaimed 19. Look my profit off the EMA bounce. So 8 on the day. Not bad. Bad. Now, this could be a false breakout on oil. Pushes back down, and then market gets bid by close short. You know, 2 on the VIX. All right, now there's the short work. Now we're down to the 700 tap. Very toppy though. Very toppy. 17. Upticked it. 1903 on the VIX. Might have a little more sustained move to the downside. Could be a potential long at 695 with that EMA stack, but not while my two indicators are above pivot. There goes that short. There's 99, 98, potential long entry. A 3 VIX. Now, if we see a rejection on oil or VIX, I will long this. Getting a little bit of bounce from 95, where I thought there could be a long entry. Not seeing the indicators catch. is getting supportive. Direction on oil. Long from 96. Not a rejection. Had it at 90. 90.50 still. UVXY is pushing, VIX is not. See, oil will get a rejection. We're heading lower. Trouble to watch. Long from 93. All right, now we're green. Green to red. Oil got the rejection from the level. Added one more. Now we need to see UVXY get a rejection. One more at 86. Love to see some red come in on the UVXY for me. Like a Beastie Boys beat. Okay, there's the UVXY projection that I needed. Nope, filled the wick pretty quick. Same with the oil. Market's a little spicy here, so I'm going to see where it nets out, but I'm prepared to pull the pin on this. Green. All right, exited most right there for a small profit. Stop is at break even. Look at that top wick on the UVXY. Now I just need the oil to do the same thing and we can continue to highs. But the thing is, what we're seeing here is we're seeing the oil and the VIX rotate. VIX up, oil down, VIX up. Stopped out. That's a good stop. Oil up, VIX up. Market down. for a rejection from 88 oil. Nope. There goes the VIX. VIX 1908, VIX Prime. Top wick. Top wick alert on the UVXY. Love that. Don't let it fill. Don't let it go above the 39.30. A bit of a volatility explosion, and then it got immediately sold back. Let's see if oil does the same off of 88. Oh, green to red. What's that? Oil 88 test. Love the top wick on the UVXY. That's why I'm staying in this long. I gotta see oil against 88 get sold. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Whoa, we got real spicy there. Got real spicy. I'm all out. I'm all out in profits. Woo! Got a bit crazy there for a second. Careful out here, guys. It's getting a little whippy. That was the 88 rejection initially off of oil, but then it immediately got bought back up. VIX at 1904. UVXY 39.18. Oil giving me a little bit of the rejection vibe off of 88. Uh-oh. VIX is gapping up, not along. Okay, oil rejected. All right, long 2 from 91 off the giant oil rejection. I want to see UVXY do the same thing, and then we push up. There's the push, out of 1 in profit, second one at break even. Look at that oil rejection off the 88. Called it out. Called it out for you guys. You're welcome. You are welcome. Back to the pivot at 88.50. It just continues to drive lower, then this continues to go up, 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 melt up. And seeing a bounce off the 87.50 level. Watching close. VIX at 1905. UVXY is pushing the high, but the market is following. Interesting. The market and the VIX have like the same pattern. Weird to anybody else? Anyone else find that strange? 749 oil. Oh, 51. All right, I'm gonna move my stop up. The 696.50, which is where the EMA stack currently is. 4-ish, whatever. We're in profit. Stopped out. Pretty good stop. Ready to re-enter if we get below that 87.50 again, or if VIX gives me any kind of red candle here. Oil under 87.50. We get a little bit more continuation, 87.47. VIX 1906. There's the red I wanted on the UVXY. Oil's trying to reclaim that pivot. That's the rejection I need from the UVXY. Oil is under pivot. Okay, that's the long that I wanted. Now give me continuation of the downside on oil and we'll get a little bit more upwards. So far, 705 is pretty resistant. Stop is back in. There's the push we wanted. Oil's starting to sell. XY gave me the red candle. And I'm going to take that right there at resistance at 705. Oh, what an exit. Figured oil will be bouncing. Well, and VIX bound. Okay, with that, I'm gonna leave the charts running for you guys, but I'm gonna peace out. Look at the VIX getting spicy there. He's in the same sort of view. Pivots are above Q's pivot, below oil pivot, but above UVXY pivot. That's why I'm not engaging with this any further for right now. I'll come back and check on y'all in a minute. All right, see you guys in a little bit. I gotta go see a guy about some lettuce.
listening to X Creeper Studios. If you new, you know. Enjoy the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below the vibe. Thanks, you know the time. Goodbye, goodbye. See you next time. 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 See you next time.
I said, y'all be careful out here because Trump is out talking. Be careful. Market's hanging in there. Over the 700s, I'm seeing the UVXY reject. And I also see that our music is... Oil's getting the bounce while UVXY gets the rejection. That's the rotation I told you about. Still not confident on the long side, guys. Okay, you see where the pivots are? Get an upper pivot here. Yeah, 770s are really where most resistance is. What will be your upper pivot on Qs? Kind of like this range. Kind of a false breakout on oil. It's an interesting look. That helped the market. We're up 665 on the day here. I'm going to actually log out of this account. I'm going to just find a different account to play with. Never saw that man about the lettuce, for the record. I still got to go back out and do that. Oh, you know what? I got a new Tradeify account. Let's play with that. That's an old growth. It's not blown. Whoops, that's been sitting there for a minute. Okay. Here is the 150K Tradeify Advanced. Those don't exist anymore. I got this as a promo when they first launched it. It's $50 a month for me. I don't know what it actually cost. Probably way more. Well, if Discord doesn't want to play along, then I will not play with Discord. Okay, I'm seeing a VIX 19 test potentially on board here. Now, this has, I believe, you know what? I'm going to just get the fuck out of TopStep. Adios, TopStep. You're done. This has a trailing drawdown. Yeah, still not loving the long, guys, honestly. This could still just be sort of like teasing us to this where the big volume was earlier today. Got a comparison of volume. Look at the sell volume that came in right off of the open. No volume is really matched even here off of the DD band. I would have expected more volume on this bounce. It didn't really happen until a few minutes later. So we come back here to pivot. I'll maybe play around, play along. All right, let you guys chew on that for a little bit. There, now you can see the full range. All right, I'm gonna go see that man about that lettuce. Del Diablo. Lechuga de Diablo. All right, see y'all in a minute. Happy 420.
Pigeon man. Pigeon man, pigeon man. Pigeon man, nothing like the what the pigeon man. Pigeon man, nothing like the what the pigeon man. Pigeon man, nothing like the what pigeon man. Pigeon man, nothing like the what pigeon man. Pigeon man, nothing like
That's some good timing. Check out what the market's about to do. Something's happening. VIX waking up with a little bit of a bottom wick there. There. Oil pressing the high again. It must have been a news candle. Ooh. Oh, now that is a beat that I like. Get behind that. I'm just gonna. That's in anything that I really want here. Turn on that fresh account. Now this is a growth account. There's 700 left. Drawdown. That's fun. 85. Okay, I'm seeing VIX with a nice rejection, but UVXY got a bounce. Now we are up near the 40s resistance. If I see breakdowns on VIX or oil, this is where we will long from. Nope. See you later, alligator. That's a short sign. UVXY is getting a bounce, oil's getting a bounce. Market is kind of in no man's land. We are building a nice channel here. I wonder about how do I do it? Oh, maybe I did. So many different shapes. Not a polylean. Lame. The tube channel. That's approximately what our channel is. Alright, I guess that'll do. Candle's kind of already breaking down there. VIX is pushing. Oil above pivot. Market's spicing up a little bit. Getting spicy. See all my screens. do like this dip and bounce from my Magic EMA here, where it was kind of like a support resistance flip. So I'm watching close for a follow through on longs. Check out VIX, guys. Look at that chart. That's a long indicator, I think. Oil is not getting the sell. Laser top. That's why I'm sort of considering long. This channel does have room to the upside. That's kind of as narrow as I would make it, which means that we have potential all the way up to the 760s. Again, where I identified resistance before, we could just meander our way up here, and this is where I would take shorts from, based on prior sells. Now, we get above 770s, and we could go straight to 800, so it's a little bit of a risky short up there. See an oil falling under the 87.50 pivot. That's good for the market. This is getting the pop, however. Just a reminder, this is what the VIX is doing over here. Dumping on the 5, but UVXY pushing. Wait a minute. Disagreement. Who's going to win? And continued push on UVXY while VIX flirts with 19. What the fuck is going on? 1904 on the VIX. Finally got that bounce. Realizing now that my color correction filter is making knocking a little bit of the green out of things. Okay, seeing the UVXY rejection, seeing the VIX at 1899. This is the potential long signal here. Nature, better. Watching this VIX 1898 interaction here. Watching this 1880s potential pivot support. Also intraday support. Careful on the longs. Oil at 87.26. Just trying to pop. Bit of a curl on the UVXY. 98 on the VIX. Curl downside. See what happens at this EMA. Double rejections here. Good for the market. Oil's testing 87s. Next stock at 1898. New 5-minute candle. Let's see where it opens. Not trusting this pump. Actually, because my VIX chart is frozen. 1897 on the VIX. God, this music is hard. Gotta figure out where my... That's the push. Oil 87 is even. Okay, let's get interesting here. 35s. But look at that 87 bounce starting to happen over here on oil.
Order filled.
Shorted 5 micros off 731.
Order
Out of
filled.
1,
Order filled.
2,
Order filled.
3. Not sort of breaking. Green trade. The 87 bounce on oil. Lots of buyer pressure still here though. I took one more off in profits. Seeing the EMA support. Also the channel support over here. See if we lose the channel. No, channel's holding. It's a decent short off the 37 level. My entry was I don't know where my order was.
Stop
The
filled.
stop is filled. Oh, there it was. 731.25. Okay. That is a $19 profit on the day. VIX continuing its travel lower under 19. Clever markets pushing. Okay, UVXY is getting continuation to the downside. Oil 87 test again. That's what I shorted off of last time. But if we break 87 to the downside, I'm no longer biased. VIX did get a little bit of a bounce off 1897, now 1898. Market's pushing though. 87 on oil. DXY diving. While VIX bouncing. Here's the 87 test on oil. Okay, good push on the market here. Stayed in the channel, held the channel. Okay. We've just completed an H pattern on the UVXY. Let's see if it gets a bounce there. VIX 1898. Oil to get the 87 bounce, or for VIX to get back over 19 for a short. There's the 87 bounce on oil. Let's see what happens on the VIX. VIX 1898. Oil bounce. Oh, not much follow through though. In the green. My stop is going to be about 760. 20-point stop. XY might test 39 first. If we push the market up. Goes back to the 87 even. There's the bounce on oil. Take one off there on that little plunge. Top ticked it, boys. I'll have another one there. Tops are all break even in profit. Yes, now that is a good short, ladies and gentlemen. Taking off one more. Look at that short. Ooh, the entry. Let's see the bounce. I see the bounce. I took off in profit. What did this candle though? That's a fun thing to short from the top. Ooh, big bounce. Big old monkey bounce. Close to it and stopped out.
Stop filled.
Stopped out. VIX is at 19, however. VIX got that bounce. I'm prepared to reshort. 60 bucks on profits on the day. In the Tradeify growth. Okay, VIX rejected 19. There's the key right there. This rejection of 19 on VIX, key. Let's watch that closely. Not getting short again. Not yet. VIX 1897. This is a nice push on the market. It's tough to be short for me. 760 to 780 is really my short zone. 800 being the stop level. 850 be the bull's target. Okay, we're at 740s. Again, I want to be short from 760. I went ahead and got in off the VIX bottom. This EMA support held. It's setting up a little bit of a Morningstar look. That oil bounce. bounce too. Market's not really reacting though. Can you guys see my beagle? Barnaby, here's sweet boy. Oh, somebody's home. That's just about my cue to leave. This will probably be my last trade of the day, guys. Oh, look at the short play out. What did I tell you about the resistance? All right, I'm out of both right there off the plunge. Ah, it's nice to feel that win. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys on another break. I'll come check on you in a little bit. Careful out there. Careful, there goes oil. That was a fun short. Not super profitable, but I'll take that. That's a win. Look at the bounce though. Look at the channel holding up. I don't think we break above 60s. All right, that's gonna do it for me on stream today, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow.